Thank you very much. It's the end of the presentation, but it's the beginning of our discussion. So I propose all the speakers to come in here and to sit just in front of you. And we are going to begin discussion with some questions from you and answers for our speakers. We have something like 15 minutes for that. So be cool for getting some of your point of view, of your question. Yes, I give you the... And Suzanne, perhaps you have one afterwards, no?
I'm Peter Myklebust. I'm Peter Myklebust from Norway. Regarding the first introduction from US, there was a term that you are able to keep the brand prominence in this joint vacancy database. In Europe, there's a problem that linking vacancies from private vacancy databases is difficult because of this brand prominence. Is it too much to ask how you solve this technically to preserve the visibility from the private providers? Thank you.
Other question then?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Boris Miawande. Bonjour, je m'appelle Boris Miawande. Je suis de l'Agence nationale pour l'emploi du Bénin. C'est l'Afrique de l'Ouest. Bon, j'ai une question, c'est de savoir comment est-ce que vous obtenez les retours sur les recrutements des entreprises pour pouvoir générer les statistiques liées à l'insertion professionnelle. Ma question s'adresse notamment à Pôle emploi et aussi aux Américains, parce que lorsque vous avez vous utilisez des systèmes de matching automatique où les demandeurs d'emploi sont redirigés directement vers les entreprises, comment est-ce que vous avez les statistiques sur les recrutements que font ces entreprises-là réellement? Nous avons ce problème-là au Bénin et je voudrais avoir votre réponse. Merci.
Merci. Thank you. Other questions? So we are going to first US.
So, in terms of the first question, when we launched the National Labor Exchange in 2007, one of the biggest concerns from the states was that they would lose job seeker traffic because we would be taking away job seekers from their state job banks. But what you need to remember is for the job distribution to the additional syndication partners, when a job seeker finds a job on the different networks, the job seeker is taken back to the original source. And so if the job content came from the job bank, they will be taken back to the job bank to apply.
Et donc par rapport au service maintenant, donc Pôle emploi France, aujourd'hui on arrive à mesurer donc 3 métriques. Donc la première, c'est donc le nombre de mises en relation que l'on fait, donc le nombre de mises en contact, de mises en relation, donc de matching qui s'opère. Le deuxième niveau en fait qu'on arrive à mesurer, c'est le nombre de mises en relation qui ont donné lieu suite à la mise en contact. Et le troisième niveau, c'est le nombre d'entretiens. Alors comment on arrive aujourd'hui à mesurer ces 3 métriques-là? Grâce en fait à des notifications qu'on renvoie en fait aux utilisateurs. Alors bien entendu, ces statistiques sont des chiffres minorants puisque c'est à partir de déclaratifs d'utilisateurs. Donc il faut savoir que vous pouvez les retrouver donc sur notre site dans la rubrique statistiques. Et d'autre part aussi, étant donné qu'on a cette base de données aussi des utilisateurs, Ce qu'on souhaite, en tout cas le chantier qui est actuellement mis en place, c'est de pouvoir faire du croisement de données avec les DPAE, donc les déclarations préalables à l'embauche, ce qui nous permettrait en fait de pouvoir recroiser entre l'entreprise et le candidat qui a été embauché. Mais ça, en tout cas, c'est un chantier qui est en cours. Il ne faut pas aussi se mentir, c'est quelque chose qu'on a du mal à tracer et à capter comme élément, mais en tout cas, on y travaille.
Oui, puis autre métrique aussi qui va nous permettre de mesurer le retour à l'emploi. Alors, ce qu'on fait aussi, c'est qu'on fait du phoning auprès de nos utilisateurs régulièrement pour, lorsqu'ils ne nous ont pas répondu, leur demander, lorsqu'ils sont désinscrits sur le service, s'ils ont été recrutés, si oui, est-ce qu'ils ont été recrutés via maintenant. Et autre élément aussi statistique que l'on va arriver à capter dans le chantier qui va être lancé et dont parlait Lorraine, donc la déclaration préalable à l'embauche, c'est une chose, on va faire le croisement de données. Et puis autre chose, c'est un de nos indicateurs, mais là qui est un indicateur national, un indicateur Pôle emploi, c'est le taux de retour à l'emploi. Donc c'est un de nos indicateurs de notre convention tripartite avec nos financeurs, c'est de regarder lorsqu'il y a eu un matching, si la personne n'est plus inscrite et qu'en plus on a la DPE, on va faire tout un croisement de données et de data qui va nous permettre de recueillir cet élément-là.
So one thing I think a lot of the states are starting to realize, or realized several years ago when we actually launched the National Labor Exchange, that you're not going to get all job seekers going to a publicly funded site. So their thought was, if we can get those same jobs that are in our system onto the commercially operated sites and then have those job seekers go back to the state systems, that was a win for them. So that's kind of how we worked around that. It's worked out really, and the analytics as well, because we do have a pretty robust analytics platform that allows the employer and the states to see where that traffic is coming from. The commercial sites like that content because they weren't able to get it before. So the fact that now they have it in their systems is a win for everyone. So it's worked out really well. Matter of fact, I'll just real quick. So direct employers actually partnered with Google first because they wanted jobs from our employers. When they found out that we work with the states, they were extremely excited because they weren't able to get that content before because those systems are so complex that they weren't able to get into those systems and scrape those positions. But since we had gone out and built the microsites like I mentioned, now they were able to get that content that a lot of other people didn't have. So they were extremely excited about working with both organizations. So.
On this question on the results with the e-service or self-service, have you some answer from Estonia or from Sweden? No? Do you want to explain what is your system of measuring the matching when you use digital services? I think it's an important question, of course.
This is also one of the challenges in Estonia we have, and we currently work on how to measure the sustainable activation, because at the moment job seekers are not obliged to notify where they were employed, in which company, and also employers are not obliged to give us information about whether their vacancy was filled by the unemployed from our registry or somebody else. So that is really something we are also working on. One solution in Estonia could be that we have this employment register now since 2014, and we can actually link personal data with this register afterwards also and see if the person was employed, with what company, etc. So yes, that's also a really important topic.
I mean, it's also very challenging in the U.S., but I think a lot of the states, if they notice people getting off of unemployment benefits, that's a win. And for us, the more people we can obviously get off those benefits, the better off we are. So I think, obviously the state wants to take credit for that, and when they can, obviously they will. But I think the ultimate goal is getting people off of those unemployment benefits.
Thank you. Have you other question, Michael?
Thank you very much. I think all the presentations were very, very interesting. I start with I must have missed it because my translation was not working. But with regards to the two systems that you presented, Bolabonboat and Maintenant, I was just wondering, do the people register again after they have? I'm sure they would have registered already on Polonbois. Now, to access this service, do they do another registration? And if they do, how do you link them to the registration that they had already made at Polonbois in the first place? Or these are new registrations? For Estonia, I think it sounds to be a very, very good system. But if other countries are trying to develop, such a system, what would be the procedures? How would they be able to develop a system that is linking up, particularly the X-Road, that is linking different, data systems? What started first? Because it's a challenge really to get, we get queries where that we're being asked to help them to connect, services, for example, from the immigration to get the credentials from immigration, to get credentials from Ministry of Education, so that the employer should not go through that process again. But it's really a challenge. How did you do it, and how does it work? Thanks.
So, yeah.
Ah oui, pardon. Donc par rapport au service, j'ai une oreille en moins. Par rapport au service, comme vous avez pu le voir, en fait, donc ce service est proposé donc à différentes cibles, voire toutes les cibles de personnes en recherche d'emploi ou voire en activité. Et du coup, le service, il n'y a pas de notion de création de compte. Comme vous l'avez vu, les seules données qu'on demande, ce sont le prénom du candidat, son adresse mail et son numéro de téléphone. Idem pour l'entreprise. Du coup, ce qui permet aussi de pouvoir s'ouvrir donc à d'autres nations, voire d'autres services, sans forcément faire le lien avec les données Pôle emploi. Sachant que c'est un chantier qui est également en cours, on va pouvoir offrir la possibilité aux utilisateurs soit de s'identifier avec leur identifiant Pôle emploi ou pas, sachant qu'aujourd'hui il n'y a aucune notion de création de compte. Donc ce n'est pas un problème avec le service maintenant. Oui.
Okay, the success behind e-governance in Estonia depended really on a political will back in the days when the government just took this decision, okay, we will go digitally, because we have to realize that Estonia is a small country. We do not have enough people to do all the administrative tasks, so you have to find some solutions how to deal with these bureaucratic tasks in the country in general. So first of all, really like political will, then legislation, of course. You have to have laws that regulate this kind of e-governance, and also, for instance, data protection. And then you have to gain trust, population, citizens' trust, that they see that the system works well, their, I don't know, identity is not stolen or the data is not somehow used in a not good way. So yes, it takes some years because it does not happen overnight. But these were the steps we took in Estonia to move towards this e-governance.
Thank you, Caroline. One last question, because I think it's time now. Have you some question, or are you really tired? L'interprète, yes. doit aussi se reposer. So I think we can stop now. Really, many thanks. I think it was really a good session because of your contribution. Thank you very much. Have a good